Hello, everybody. Welcome to Just Ask Spirit. I'm Sherianna Boyle, and it's the beginning of the month, so you know what that means. Carmen Turner-Schott is here. How are you?
I'm good. I can't believe it's August. This is crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, it needs to slow down. So if
Yeah.
you're just joining Just Ask Spirit, Carmen Turner-Schott is our resident astrologist here, and she gives us the update. She gives us things that we need to be aware of and helps us to make sense of what's happening and why we feel the way we feel and why we behave the way we behave and why we think the way we think, and how astrology has such a tremendous impact on that. And I think I know that you're out there. I mean, you have been interviewing all over the place. I know you have this new book out. We have two new books out. One of them is Moon Signs. The second is Phoenixes and Angels, Mastering the 8th and 12th Astrological Houses. And I feel like what you've been doing out there, Carmen, I've been watching you, and you and I are friends, so we keep each other posted. You're educating people on just how much it influences us, don't you think?
Yes. I love to teach about this on a basic level so anyone can understand it. That's my goal, because it's a complex science, and I spent my whole life studying it, and I want other people to love it just as much as me. So it's kind of my passion, and making it really simple and easy to understand, because it's energy. And once you know the energy behind the signs and the planets and the houses and putting it all together and how it affects your personality, and it's all energy. And once I explain that, people are like, oh, that makes sense. That's why I'm that way. And so, yeah, just having a basic understanding is my goal, to give people that basic knowledge.
Yeah, and it's absolutely fascinating. I think it blows people's minds when you describe all these characters. They're like, that's me.
How did you
So
know?
yeah, so here we are. We're in the very beginning of August here.
Yes.
What should we be thinking about? What's going on? Fill us in.
August 1st is the big full moon right now in Aquarius. And so, as we know, when there's a full moon, our emotions are heightened. Our reactions are heightened. We feel a little bit more irritable, a little bit more restless. We might have a little bit of, not sleep. We might be full of energy, or we might just want to withdraw and kind of reflect on things. And so this full moon, though, is in an air moon. So Aquarians are intellectual. So I think it's going to help us be a little bit more in our mind, and not as emotional and as reactive as we typically are during a full moon. So that's a good thing. So we'll be more, level-headed, rational about our emotions during this full moon, because that's Aquarius. They're rational, they're logical, they're a little bit detached and aloof from emotions because they're thinkers. And so we might be overthinking and intellectualizing, well, why am I feeling this way? And, just getting more in our head during this full moon, which isn't a bad thing. And we're going to want to socialize, network, spend time with friends, because Aquarius rules friendship and groups, and it rules socializing and networking and acquaintances. And so we might want to, be, meeting people, talking, on the go, taking a class, learning something new, all of those things during this 1st of August, right? And then, as we get into mid-August, we have a new moon in Leo, which is a fire moon, and it's on August 15th. And so the difference between a full moon and new
That's
moon.
my anniversary.
Oh, is it August 15th? Happy anniversary.
Yeah, 25 years.
Good for you. I just
so
had my
was you had 24 years?
Yeah, June 19th.
Oh, June 19th. Fabulous.
Yeah.
So what do we have on August 15th?
Yeah, August 15th is Leo. This is the fire moon. Leos are romantic, passionate, generous. They're fun-loving. They like to be on stage. So it's a very happy new moon energy and creative moon. So the new moon means that it's a time to set intentions for your goals. It's what you want to look forward to. In this new moon, you're going to want to have fun. You're going to want to do something that brings you pleasure and happiness, and pursue your hobbies. And anything you're doing that is self-expression, this is a good time to make your intentions about the things you want to attract into your life. And Leo gives you confidence. That's the thing. So during this new moon on August 15th, we're going to feel a little bit more confident and a little bit more, thinking about our goals and being successful, and how can we shine, and how can we find happiness. That's Leo. It's the sign that's ruled by the sun. So it's all about shining and being happy and positive and all this really great energy. And so it's a good new moon. And so I always say it's good to write down your intentions in a journal or something during a new moon so you can look back, because every month when we have the full moon, you can look back and see how everything kind of played out through that month and what you manifested, right? And what transpired. And it's really neat following the cycles of the moon. You can go online and Google the cycles of the moon and what they represent and learn a lot more about it. But this is just my basic analyzation of it. And then we've been in Leo. Leo energy has gone through the 1st of August here, and it's going to continue until August 23rd. And then the sun will move into a whole new sign, and it'll be Virgo season. And that's my sign. I'm August 26th. So my daughter's a Virgo, my husband's a Virgo. I love Virgos. And so the sun moves into Virgo. So happy birthday, everyone born August 23rd.
Yeah, happy birthday. Yeah.
And it's a double whammy though on August 23rd, because guess what else happens? Our favorite thing that we love with Mercury.
Oh boy.
It goes retrograde. Yes.
So it's like everything comes to a screeching halt.
Yes. Right. It's just, and Virgos are going to feel it because Virgos are ruled by the planet Mercury. And so they're not going to like this energy, because when Mercury's retrograde, as we know, it affects us for about 6 to 8 weeks. And there's about a week or two before it goes retrograde. So mid-August, guys, we're going to be feeling miscommunication, travel delays, unexpected changes with things. It's a good time to reflect and finish old projects. Don't start anything new during Mercury retrograde, like a whole new thing. You might have ideas, but just don't start working towards anything. If something comes, just let it go. But things that you haven't done, like if you're behind and you really need to clean out your house, your closet, or catch up, this is a great time to do all the things that you've been putting off. It gives you motivation and energy. So Mercury retrograde is kind of good, because it's like, I got to get this stuff done because I have been putting this off. So you'll have a lot of good energy to be efficient, and energy to work and think and organize and plan. And you're going to feel that is heightened, because Virgo season is going to make us want to do that, because Virgos are the organizers. They're the practical, efficient, productive. They like to make lists. They like to plan. They like to get everything clean and be perfectionist, right? So you're going to have that kind of Virgo energy going on this month, at the end of the month, into the 1st of September, this Virgo energy. So, and then, that retrograde is just going to make us feel a little bit more reflective, because it might be more difficult to communicate, or you may just feel like you don't really have anything to say. If you're usually really talkative, it can make you really quiet and just kind of more solemn in a way, like you're just not expressing it out as much. You're more inside, introverted. So it can make you a little bit more introverted, which is not a bad thing. It's just, a little break from maybe the hustle bustle, of talking and always on the phone and doing things. You might not want to answer the phone or talk for hours like you usually do. That's normal, because Mercury is spinning backwards in the sky. That's what a retrograde means. It just means that its energy is a little bit stifled. That's all. And it's not expressing itself fully. That's all. That's what a retrograde means.
Interesting. So not to worry, not to think that there's something wrong. And so often when someone's quiet or they're not themselves, we can take things personally, say, oh, did I do something? Are you mad at me? You're not connecting with me. You're not texting me back. And this is good information to know that this is affecting everybody. So try to go a little easy on yourself. Don't take things so hard and think that you did something wrong or that something has changed.
Sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
Don't take it personal.
Yeah. So it sounds like we're going to have some great energy in the beginning of the month.
Yes. And
with that Leo, some playful energy. Is that correct? The creative, as you said, fun.
Yeah. The fun, pleasure. The new moon's all about, our goals and creativity, being more social, doing, going to concerts, going to entertainment, because Leo rules entertainment, they rule hobby, self-expression. You might be, more romantic, which is great for your anniversary day. I mean, this
Yeah,
is
well,
good.
we're actually going to a concert. That's what we're doing for
Nice.
our
There you
anniversary.
go.
So I'm curious, do you ever wonder if do you start to predict this in terms of, like, I'm thinking to myself, why did I book a concert? Because I booked the concert and
Mhm.
I thought, for our anniversary, I would like to go to a concert. It's 25 years. What are we going to do? So you kind of wonder, what,
Yes.
got to do something a little bit more than you normally do, right? And I said, let's do a concert. And so is there any way, I guess, intuitively, have you ever thought about that or written about that? Where do we kind of sense, because it's energy
Yes.
and
Yes.
intuition is reading energy.
Yes.
I'm just curious of what you think about that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible for you to tap into that energy and feel it, because it's affecting, the moon's affecting us at all times. And so our intuition comes from the moon. So any cycle of the moon, the full moon, the new moon, the eclipses, all of these things we have that happen, we're going to feel it emotionally. We're going to have an intuition or a vibe, like a gut instinct is kind of what it is. And at the time, then later you see, oh, this is strange, because we are going to a concert. We're going to do some entertainment, right? So I think it could be, you're an eighth house Phoenix, an eighth house sun, so you're very perceptive, intuitive, and sensitive to energy. So you could have been picking this up for sure. Now, let me ask you, are you going to see Taylor Swift?
No,
I was gonna say, I'm jealous if you're going to see Taylor.
I don't think my husband, that's not what he wants. That's not what he would want to do. No, we're actually going to see Train.
Oh, I
Uh,
like Train. Yeah, Train's
yeah,
good.
we're going to go see Train. Yeah. In a very
Oh,
small, nice, intimate venue, which is just my style. I'm
that's
not really,
cool.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
unless it's someone that I just absolutely love, but I
yes,
don't really love the bigger,
the crowds. I don't
the,
either.
the Taylor Swift. Yeah. That whole thing.
Oh,
But not
yeah,
to say I wouldn't go, because I would, if somebody gave me a ticket, I'd go in a
sure.
heartbeat. But it is intuition. The intuition part fascinates me, because you said our intuition comes from the moon. That's fascinating. So
Yeah.
you believe everyone's intuitive then?
Yeah, everyone has, they're a different moon sign. And so some moon signs are a little bit more intuitive than others. But when the moon is going through the signs each month, the transits, absolutely it affects us, and it'll affect certain people more. Some people are a little bit more psychic, intuitive, and sensitive to energy than others, but everyone is affected emotionally by the moon. And the moon is intuition. It rules it. It rules our gut instinct. That's like that motherly nurturing instinct is the moon. And everyone has that moon sign. They just express that energy in a different way. They either are a fire moon, air moon, water moon, or earth moon. And so water moons are more prone to really being super psychic and intuitive. Earth moons as well, because they're connected to the earth, grounded. And when they're grounded, they really can, sense things. Air moons are a little different. They're not as intuitive. They are intuitive, but it's more intellect. They'll have flashes or thoughts come to them. They may not feel it like a water moon or an earth moon. They'll think it, and then they're right. They'll have thoughts, unexpected flashes of insight. That's air, because air, you can't grasp it, right?
Right.
We know we're breathing it, but you can feel water, you can feel earth, you can feel fire. So fire signs, they are also very, they go on their gut, but when they're moving, when they have movement, and they like to be on the go doing things physically. They don't like to just sit still. So when they're moving around, that's when they get their intuition and these gut instincts. Oh yeah, I should do this. It's when they're being active. Where an earth or water moon, we get our intuition when we kind of withdraw from the world and meditate and have solitude and quiet time. Then we feel our emotions more. They are a little bit different. So that's kind of explain it with the 4 elements, how the moon affects those 4. And in my moon sign book, I talk a lot about how the full moon affects each moon sign. specifically,
Mhm.
and then some self-care tips for each moon sign, because every moon sign is going to be a little bit different. Because well, a Pisces moon, they will love to meditate and do yoga and listen to music and do breathing exercises and do art and be alone. But an Aries moon is going to want to be active doing things, maybe going out, being social. Or a Gemini is going to want to be talking to people on the phone or going out and having some fun, right? So, and that being home and alone, meditating is not going to help them relax. And so
Mhm.
every moon sign has their own kind of way. But yeah, the moon affects all life on earth. The moon cycles. It affects animals. It affects everything. And the most research out there is about, if you talk to detectives, police officers, ER docs, is that there's more calls during a full moon than any other time of the month in law enforcement.
There's also more suicides.
Yeah,
Have you looked, I know that there's research on that
probably. There
yeah,
probably is, and I know that the suicide data, I have to look at it. There, it's
yeah,
seasonal. There's a seasonal thing to that. There's certain months.
September.
Yeah,
I'm pretty positive it's September.
yeah,
I've got to look into it. I'm pulling into my psych class when I teach psych
yes,
at the college, but we have had many conversations about things like that because the students are always interested. Of
yes.
how things affect us and our mental health and so on and so forth. This is incredible. We do need to take a quick break, everyone, but if you're just joining, we're getting our astrology update with Carmen Turner-Schott. She's the author of many books. You can find her at the Just as Spirit Marketplace, which, by the way, sponsors these shows. And if you go to sheriannaboyle.com, you'll find Just as Spirit Marketplace there. You'll see some of Carmen's books, my newest book, Energy in Action. You can tell we're both lovers of energy. We're going to be right back after the break with more insights on August from Carmen. Hang in there. Welcome back to Just Ask Spirit. I'm Sherianna Boyle. Welcome to the show. We're getting our astrology update, August 2023. Carmen Turner-Schott is in the house. We were just talking about charts and all that during the break.
Yeah.
Carmen always remembers my chart, everyone. I'm like, I don't even know my chart. And you did my chart for me, thank God. Yeah, a while ago, back in, I think it was November or something like that.
Sure.
And I'm so glad that you remember. You said because you're visual?
Yeah, I'm very visual. It's really strange. I've always, if I see a face, I remember a face. Like I know them. I'm not good with names, but if I ever see someone and I'll see them in a public place, I'm like, I'll walk up. Are you from my hometown? Yeah. I'm very visual. And so when I look at the wheel, because astrology is a wheel, and it's like, I just remember, oh, you got the moon in this house, you got the moon in this sign, you got this. So I do remember visually people that I care about or that I connect with. I typically remember their chart. So for you, you got the sun in the 8th house, and it's on the cusp of Taurus and Gemini. And then your moon is in Scorpio. So
Yeah, my daughters always remind me of that. And when they say it, it sounds like it's not a good thing.
well, you're an 8th house sun, so you're a Scorpio Phoenix anyways, with your sun in the 8th house, and then you got a double whammy because you're Scorpio moon. So you're a Phoenix. You're definitely a Phoenix in my new book. If you read about 8th house, that's you. And then your node, your Pisces South node, I believe Virgo North node. And I'm a Virgo sun. And
I don't know how she remembers this, everyone. How does she do this? How do you do a chart in November and just pull out what I am? I don't know.
I just remember key things, your key, and I believe your Libra rising actually as well. And that's why I think we get along, because I got a lot of Aries, and you got Aries on your 7th house cusp of relationships.
She just rattles this off. Well, part of it, everyone, just to let you in the inside scoop, is because Carmen also looks at people's charts before she works with them. So when I asked her, I was like, I really want you to come on Just as Spirit, like every single month, to give us these updates.
Yes.
And, we've talked about other ways that we could work together. We've even talked about writing books together and things. And Carmen is like, okay, I gotta look at her chart, make sure this is the right decision.
Yeah, we do what's called a composite chart. Like if you want to have a business partner or work with people, it's good to see how you guys influence each other. So what we call it is a synastry chart. So you get your birth chart, you know, your day, time, month, place, year, your birth chart, my birth chart, or whoever you're going to partner with, and you put them on top of each other, and then you flip them again. So you can see how I affect Sherianna, I can see, and then how she affects my life and all the different areas of my life and all the houses. And that's what how we see partnership potential, like compatibility, like good luck. And we had a lot of good energy in our synastry chart.
Yeah, so Carmen's like, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah.
I don't know where you get your energy from. I'm like, Carmen, I have one thing at a time right now. I gotta slow down.
That's your Taurus. See, Taurus is like
Yeah,
the plan to
exactly.
do one thing at a time until it's finished. Then they'll start
That's
the
me.
yes.
Yes.
I got 10 things juggling, and I'm like a multi. That's my Aries.
It is your Aries. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you write multiple books at one time. I'm like, I can only, okay, I got this one in front of me, and then I'll go to the next one. But you can work on two at once.
See, the secret about this is what people know is I really need somebody to keep me organized. You know,
That's
because I'm, you know, or remind me, you know, I'm organized really in a way where I can go and do all this stuff, but then at times I'll miss something. And so I'm always like, I need you to remind me, you know, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I knew I had to do that. But I got to keep myself organized because it's just me. I don't have an assistant or nothing like that. So I'm like, I have to keep lists and plans. But no, it's good. And I'm a Virgo. So this is Virgo month. And I always feel good, you know, in August because the sun is in my sign. You know, when the sun is in your sign and it's your birth month, you usually feel at home. You know, you have a very, very good energy and you're feeling like you're expressing yourself and you're going to feel just really good. It's going to be a happy energy if you're a Virgo. So there's a lot of stuff, you know, kind of going on. Mars actually enters Libra. And so on August 27th, there could be just for, you know, a couple months, you know, just some month or so, you're going to be feeling a little bit more tension in relationships. So just be a little cautious. Like if you're irritable.
Are you talking to me or are you talking overall?
Everyone, Mars.
Oh, okay, because you're looking
Sorry,
at
I
me.
switched directions. Yeah, I changed the subject. Mars and Libra.
Okay, we're off my chart.
Yes.
Everyone, this is all of us. So when are we feeling a little, when might we
Yes.
feel some tension?
Yeah, there'll be a little bit more conflict in relationships. And that's
boy.
because the planet of aggression, war, violence, and passion and anger is in Libra, which is the relationship partnership sign. And it just moves in there on August 27th, but it's not going to be there for years. It's only going to be there for like days and months. So it's fine. It's going to move quickly through into the end. So, but I just want to highlight it that
Do people break up during these kinds of things? Do you really? This is when you see.
Yeah, because of
and
misunderstandings, because two whammies. We got Mercury retrograde,
oh,
misunderstanding. So what's the number one reason that leads to divorce and relationship breakups? Communication issues. Number one,
yeah, and
research.
stress and finances.
Yes, finances is right up there, but communication is in really the downfall of most relationships. If you can't talk through things and communicate your emotions, even if something bad happens, if you can communicate and work through stuff, you're more likely to stay together. If you shut down and don't communicate, you know, so don't misinterpret or take things too personal, and make sure you really try to understand where someone's coming from this month, because Mercury, the planet of communication, is blocked. And then you add Mars into the sign of Libra, which is all about our partner, our other people, our relationships. There can be tension and there could be some endings that maybe really didn't have to happen. So be patient, because Mars makes us impatient and we just want to move on and cut ties, and they're not giving to me what I want. They're not meeting my needs, and just be done.
Oh boy.
So we don't want to get rash, because Mars is rash. Mars is quick. It wants action. Slow down and don't end relationships too quickly, because you might regret it once Mercury goes direct, which happens sometimes. So another thing during Mercury retrograde.
So if your relationship makes it through this, that's a good sign. You're pretty strong. You're going pretty strong.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I would almost say, unless you're in a situation that's toxic, you might not want to make any decisions about your relationship if you're on the fence. during this time period, because you've got so many influences on you that you might not make a clear one,
Yeah,
right?
don't start a new relationship during Mercury retrograde, because it typically, when it goes direct, you're like, wait a minute, what was I thinking? And you're not interested anymore. And people break up, they're like, I don't know, we're not alike. And what was I thinking? So it's best just to wait till it's direct and when you're thinking clearly. And but that Mars and Libra, Mars in any sign is going to be tough. When it was in Gemini, I remember we were talking about it a couple months ago, there was people were just very cutting people like a knife. They were like very verbal, more combative and arguing more and things. This is more affecting how you see your partner, how you interact with your partner, and you might be a little bit more arguing with them more, but you're wanting to kind of move on too quickly and maybe end things if you feel your needs aren't being met, because Mars is about our needs, our passion. And if you feel like, well, I don't have a chemistry with them, or, and Mars is the sexuality planet, it's that passion planet. So if you don't have that connection, you might want to end the relationship because of not having some kind of chemistry or physical attraction. But don't be too rash, because that isn't everything. You need friendship, and there's a balance. Libra is about balance.
Take it from us, everyone. That
Yes.
is not 24 years here, 25 years. That's not everything.
No.
It's not everything.
Friendship is the key, and communication. Having someone you can trust, and a friend that lets you be yourself and do your things and support you.
And emotional processing.
Yes, right.
Got to take time, self-care, self-love.
It's big. And then I'm not going to go really big into big detail on this, but Uranus goes retrograde on August 28th. And that means that the planet Uranus that rules Aquarius is spinning backwards. And it's in Capricorn. We talked about I think, no, it's not in Capricorn, what I'm saying. But it's retrograde. And so it's going to be you're going to be thinking more about who you are, and like being creative and being unique. It's Uranus is all about awakening, and you could awaken some things within instead of without. Usually Uranus changes things in our environment. It shakes them up. It makes us see things different. If we're not growing, we have to kind of have the rug pulled out and, now I see it, or I don't like my job, but you've been staying with it forever. And it may just, boom, something happens and you get a new job. It brings change. Because it's retrograde, you're going to be focused more on interchange. That's all it means. The energy's focused inward during a retrograde. That's kind of with any planet. That's kind of basic way to describe it. Now, the cool thing is August is one of those rare months where we have 2 full moons. So we talked about this first of the month. Now we're in an Aquarius full moon right now. The end of the month in August, we're going to be in a full moon in Pisces on August 30. And Pisces is the mystic, the spiritual one, the artist, the creative person, the compassionate kind, water moon, right? So this is going to be an intensified emotions. People might cry more easily. They get their feelings hurt a lot more easily, like their emotions are on their sleeve kind of feeling. That's because Pisces, the full moon is in a water sign. So the first of the month, it's more intellectual. The full moon's not going to be affecting us as much emotionally, but the end of the month, that Pisces full moon, it's going to be really, really intense as far as emotions and feeling things. And it's okay. If you need to cry, cry. You may listen to a song and you're like, why am I bawling? Well, let it go. Just, you're going to be more sensitive. That's all. More sensitive inside your emotions. Your emotions you may want to sleep more. And also during a full moon in Pisces, keep your dream log out, because a lot of people have psychic, spiritual dreams, intuitive dreams during the full moon in Pisces. So because Pisces rules sleep, it rules dreams, it rules the subconscious. So you can have really deep dreams where even if you're not a normal dreamer, you may be dreaming vivid all night during a Pisces full moon for 3 days. So keep your dream log out. And it's okay if you want to sleep and take naps and kind of withdraw from the world. That's what Pisces full moon does. Pisces makes us want to withdraw from stress and escape from anything that's stressful and be peaceful. And it's a time to have solitude, and you might want to be alone more. That's okay. It's only going to last a couple days, and then you'll be back. And then the other big thing that's going on is during a Pisces full moon, it's important, meditate, do dream analysis, write anything, diving deep on what your soul really wants. It's about getting connected to a higher power too, because Pisces rules the 12th house, which is the house of angels. And Pisces is, I call them, the angel energy, because they rule that 12th house, which is one of my favorite houses in astrology. So you're going to want to connect with, why am I here? What's the purpose of my life? You might be thinking about these things during this full moon, and that's a good thing. And then the last thing I have, it's really the lunar nodes, now that we're talking about the moon, when we talk about that the nodes are in a certain sign right now. And I think a couple shows ago, we talked about how the nodes were in Taurus and Scorpio and how that's been hard, right, for people. And this is the good news. Last month in July, the nodes shifted into Aries and Libra. Totally new energy, totally new signs, totally new karma affecting all of us now in the whole world. And these nodes change signs, and they stay in this sign about 1.5 to 2 years. So the nodes have been in Taurus and Scorpio for almost 2 years. Yeah, and if you look back 2 years, what you've been through, there was a lot of loss, a lot of grief, a lot of healing.
We've all been through, yes.
Yeah, right. Like a rebirth, like a death and rebirth energy, because we
total new energy.
Now that heavy energy of Scorpio and that Taurus is about letting go of the past, right? Because Tauruses are nostalgic and they're connected to the past, letting go and healing the past. And now the nodes have shifted into the relationship nodes. So now we're going to feel focused on two things. We're balancing our selfish desires, ourself, what we want, what we need, how we want to be self-reliant and independent and do what we want to do with our partner, with other people, and focusing on their needs. So we're balancing our own needs and other people's needs. So this is karma with relationships is what we're going through now. And you're going to see there might be new relationships starting. There might be relationships ending. And this might be the theme we see for the next 1.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo. You said this was going to be not much going on. I think there's a lot of going on this.
Yeah, when I was typing it up, I thought, well, it just didn't seem like there's as much as usual, but it is a lot. It's deep.
Kind of feels like a big month for sure.
Yeah.
Lots of information there. This is amazing. You're amazing. I'm so proud of you. And
too.
So happy for all your successes, and your new book out there is doing fantastic. You have your own show starting up on your own program. She's still going to be here with us, folks. So you're going to get your updates. Don't worry about it. Once a month. But her new book is called Phoenix. I can't speak. Phoenixes and Angels, Mastering the 8th and the 12th Astrological Houses. Yes. You can find her at CarmenTurner-Schott.com. So if you want to find where to find her radio show, then I imagine that's the best place for them to go, right, Carmen? And then they can see what else you're up to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it added to my website, and it's all new, so it's cool. But I'll still be coming on here. We'll still do our thing.
Well, I would miss you. I wouldn't get to see you. Now we have we actually catch up, and this is our time to catch up with each other. So I would miss that. So I'm grateful for that. And Carmen, I don't know if you know this, but I have a patron program now for our listeners. So the patron program is really designed so that I can offer more content to everyone. So everyone can go to Sheriannaboyle.com. And my intention with that program is really to start getting people to feel, because if I can give some extra content, some content on my own, some guidance, some support, you can see how I guide people to feeling. I really believe that through emotions, energy, which you and I talk about, we can really help make this world a better place for everybody, a place that we can thrive at, as well as everybody else on the planet. So thank you so much, Carmen, for coming on Just Ask Spirit.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. And thank you, audience, for being such wonderful, loyal listeners. And don't forget to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a show. Yes. Remember, your emotions matter. Processing them matters more. Take care, everyone.